Let me chip in. There's just being a concerned fellow. I know, or we all know what Abena Koko, if you know
Okay.
her, what she's going through is bipolar.
Yes.
I want to find out, and we know bipolar is curable,
Yeah.
or it's not highly curable, or it depends.
Bipolar is managed. You have to know what it is, the signs, the characteristics of bipolar. When you understand the characteristics of bipolar, you are able to manage it. There are times a person suffering from bipolar becomes so happy. When they are happy, they become, which word do I even use?
Hyper.
They become so hyper, and if you don't control them, they may end up hurting themselves. A person suffering from bipolar, when he is that hyper, and just imagine if he is driving, they engage in very risky activities. They are just so happy. They may want to jump from a height. That is how it is.
Okay.
So when the person is happy, when the person is extremely happy like that, when you know the signs and how to control it, you are with the person, then you try to manage the person, keep the person under control. You understand? It is manageable. If the person is at that down part where he feels really low, the person needs space. Your presence with the person gets him more angry. So give him the space, but from time to time, you check up on the person. How do you feel? Do you want to eat? Give him some form of attention, some form of care. And with time, they come back to okay.
Sure.
So, what people around people who are suffering from bipolar should know is that when they get the opportunity, they can go overboard. When they are very hyper, they can go overboard. They can do things that when they are calm, they will regret doing. So from time to time, check up on them. Make sure they are being taken care of. Like that you have them around you, you have people around them all the time. We can't be with them in school, we can't be with them in town. So it is a bit of a difficult situation though, but we should learn to manage them.
Okay.
And when they are put on medications, it is the medication that calms them down. The medication is able to keep them normal for a period of time. So they should take their medication seriously. And with time, they will just adjust.
Okay. Stigmatization is one whole thing that has become the
Yes.
order of the day
Yes.
pertaining to mental health and bipolar. What would you suggest, or how can you say can remedy this negative norm that has been there? People stigmatizing against people suffering from mental issues.
Yes. It has been one of the things we've been fighting all these years. Mental health condition is not limited to one person, but once you are there, people stigmatize you and they give you all sorts of names and stuff. But it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
It can happen to anybody. Once we know what the person is going through, we understand that it is not really madness. It is a form of, it's a state of the mind that is disturbed and need to be corrected. We would get to accept that yes, this is what the person is going through, and not necessarily to stigmatize against the person. You understand? So stigmatization is very worrying. So many people are going through so much that they when they seek help early, they could be given the best form of remedies. But because of the fear of being stigmatized,
Stigmatized.
they would keep it to themselves. And by the time they want to seek help, it is already going out of hands and it becomes very difficult to control. But if we should understand that it is just like any physical. I don't see people who are suffering from typhoid and going to the hospital being
Yeah.
stigmatized. But when you have an issue mentally and you are seeking help, people stigmatize at you, and it is very bad.
I think it's way beyond bad, and I'll urge you on this platform as we are discussing World Mental Health Day that if you are one that find yourself in stigmatizing people who are suffering from mental issue, you should refrain from that. So you are still watching the Changemakers Voice Show with me and your Pondechon and the Online TV. We're having a discussion on World Mental Health Day with Mr. Godfred Osei, a counselor on the University of Media, Arts and Communication, that's former GIJ campus, and deliberating on how best we can understand this project, what we can do in our bit to also promote it.